Afternoon guys, my name is Gabe and we're going to talk more about Dungeons & Dragons. Today's topic is going to be about 3 ways to go and speed up the game when your players take too long to go and make a decision. Now if you've been playing for a while or you're a DM, you probably run into the situation where you give your players a scenario and it takes them forever to make a decision. Should we go through this door? Should we go and attack XYZ creature? Should we go and do XYZ action? Bottom line, it takes way too long to go and make a decision. Now, I got the remedy for you. I know for myself, I've seen it many times where players can take a very, very long time to do something. Sometimes you just gotta go in, play it into your own hands, take matters into your own hands and just make some action happen. They're not going to take an action, you're going to go and make an action. So my thing is, I have 3 ways that I like to go and do. My first way is actually making players roll against each other to go and convince the other players that, hey, my idea is actually really good, or to just scare them to, maybe scare is not right the word, threaten. How you would do that, diplomacy and intimidate. Those are going to be really good as far as like helping guide your players on, hey, maybe this might be a good idea because this guy wants to do this, this other character wants to go and do this. Okay, dispute. Go ahead and argue with each other, but use your diplomacy. Bam, there you go. Whatever rolls higher, you convince the other player that you're going to go and do what this other player wants to do. Something like that. As far as like even convincing another player to go and take an action, you could do that. You could say, hey, you know what, I'm going to go in diplomacy and make it where I want to go and try to convince you that this action is really good and that you should actually go out and do it. So it's all kind of like the way you word it, the way that you even frame the idea too. You could even say, hey, you know, I'm going to go and intimidate this player and scare him and kind of threaten and say, if you don't do this, I'm gonna hurt you real bad or something. I don't know. But the thing is that when you actually have your players go and roll for control, that will actually speed things up too, because they're kind of forced to go and do something. Kind of like player action versus character action. You know, your player wants to do this, but your character's gonna end up doing this because, hey, that's how the dice roll. The second one that I have as far as helping speed up the game is actually just putting out an outside encounter or an outside unexpected action. So that could mean like a monster attacks, an earthquake, something, makes a noise in the other room. But basically you can like say, I don't know, roll for initiative. That's definitely gonna go and speed things up. Or you make players roll a save of some sort. The thing is that putting out the action when your players are taking too long to make an action, again, it'll speed up the game. It kind of forces your players to actually do something, and it progresses the story or, the game further. Just because, again, they're arguing about the same damn thing for like the last 10 minutes. Yeah, you don't want to stay with that. Just make something happen. Make a monster appear or something. I don't know. You could do anything, literally, because you're the DM and you control the pace really. And then my last tip is actually just putting out a timer. If you really don't want to go and do a whole lot of just instigation and just making players either forced to do an action or just even making a random encounter or an unexpected thing happen, you could just say, hey, you know what, you guys got 5 minutes. Bam, put a timer up there. Pull out a timer on your phone or something, time it for 5 minutes, and just watch people just kind of go back and forth and they'll make a decision. Once that 5 minutes is up or whatever, you can actually just say, okay, well, you can actually set your encounter right then and there, or your action, and say, oh, X amount of time has passed, and now this happens. So there's all sorts of different ways to go about it as far as speeding up your game, but you really don't want to go and spend too much time just on one scenario, just because the story ain't moving. Your players ain't going anywhere, and it should not take like 30 minutes to go and take an action. Whether to go and make a decision to do XYZ action. No. There's too much of the rest of the story to go and figure out. You can save that for an after session or something. But again, my 3 ways to go and speed up the game from a DM's perspective. The first one is to make the players roll for control, whether that means using a charisma check, diplomacy, or intimidate. Make your players go and interact with each other to make something happen. The next one is actually rolling for initiative, or making will saves, or just making some sort of outside action happen in order to make them take an action, because they're kind of forced to. Unless they don't want to do anything and whatever happens, and I guess if they die, they die. Well, you know, that's whose fault is that? And then the last one is just actually setting a timer. Me, I like to say, 5-6 minutes. And then I'll just literally set a timer, put it down on the table, let my players go and watch the timer trickle down as far as the time goes, and if nothing happens, then I guess I'm gonna have to go and make a decision. Whether something goes through or not. But yeah, again, those are my 3 tips on how to speed up a game when your players take too long to go and make a decision to progress the game. So I hope this helps. It was a really condensed version of how to speed things up. But again, this is more for getting things rolling, getting things moving, and making sure the game ain't too slow. But if you have any questions, again, my name is Gabe. Feel free to leave something in the comments or send us a message or an email, and we'll try to get back to you on that. But other than that, we will see you guys on the next video. Anyways, take care and enjoy the afternoon. Thank you.